Tonight's presentation was one of those ones that you just kind of pull out of your hat, you know. We had anticipated on having the FDA, as we had mentioned before, but the FDA got tied up in whatever the FDA does. As long as they're not knocking at my door, you know, I'll take it. So we still anticipate on having the FDA present to us. They, you know, gave us two options: a live FDA employee or streaming. So we'll take either or. So we're going to work towards delivering that this fall. So I just wanted to talk briefly about continuing education. Now, me myself, I've been the education chair for the section, say maybe 2 to 3 years, but I'm not an educator, so to speak. I'm not a teacher. I've taught some courses, taught some, you know, subjects, but, you know, per se, I'm not a instructor. I don't think I am, but either way. So I really want your input, and I really want to open the floor to kind of share experiences. What worked for you, or what may have worked for someone else, or whatever it is that you think. Okay, we'll go ahead and dive in it. These are the websites that I use to create tonight's presentation. So all of this will be made public. So it's nothing, you know, too proprietary. Okay. As you saw in the meeting notes, we want to talk about, you know, just some of the key things, the most popular online colleges. Okay. So this is what I was able to find. You know, the most popular online colleges is, of course, University of Phoenix. Number 2, American Public University System. Number 3 is Liberty University. Most of you may remember Liberty. They were here. Dr. Fisher and I, we were talking about Liberty, you know, during dinner, but they are no longer. DeVry, Ashford University, and the last 3 are tied. Penn State, American Intercontinental University, and Nova Southeastern University. So those are the most popular online colleges now. Now, what does that mean? That just means that they spend a lot of money advertising. That just means that they push strictly for online courses. If you remember, Liberty used to have a presence here, and they wound up filing for bankruptcy. You'll find out later on how did the university file for bankruptcy. Well, not how, but either way. But now, if you go to Liberty University's website, they are strictly online. No more classroom settings. They show a beautiful university on their website. Beautiful, beautiful, but primarily online. For profit. For-profit schools are educational institutions that are corporations and often have shareholders, whether it be an equity firm, real shareholders on the stock market. I don't know if University of Phoenix is on any stock market. Are they? I don't think they are. But either way, they operate as a business, and the products that they sell is education. Their goal is to, I'll read the rest because it's cut off, is to generate a positive return or a profit for their shareholders. Now that's, you know, that's pretty noble, you know. I mean, you think about education today, I mean, we spend literally trillions of dollars, literally, on education every single day, whether it be public schools, colleges and universities, whatever the case may be, but we spend a lot of money on it. It's only a handful of them that are actually for profit. Just want to talk about earning potential from classroom type colleges. Sorry, I didn't mean to put so many bullet points in there. University of Memphis. Are we having any U of M graduates in here? Hey, okay. Got a few. Okay. A little over 15,000 in the undergraduate plan. Now, of course, that number will fluctuate. So based on this data that was acquired from the Department of Education, that's what it is. But that data could be 2017 data, which I really think it is. The annual cost is $16,000, between $16,000 and $13,000. The graduation rate is 42 to 45%. Salary, you know, after attending, $34,000 to $36,000. So you think $34,000 to $36,000? That's pretty low. Well, it's based on the demographics of wherever you are. So of course, you know, you come from California, go to the U of M, yeah, that'd be your potential well, not your potential, but on average, if you stay here in Memphis, but you go back out to California, obviously you would be making more. It's a degree that you're selling, okay? And they're only gonna sit up there and pay based on the demographics, and that's about average. So, we go through another. Any CBU graduates in here? All right. CBU, smaller classes, but if you look at the annual cost, and let me tell you, I wanted to go to CBU years ago. I talked to Dr. Neil Jackson. He's a wonderful instructor. But when he told me how much those courses were, I kind of rethought going to CBU. I think they're a private institution, but they're really good. They are world renowned. And the graduation rate is about, the same as the University of Memphis. And their salary is around the same, but slightly higher, because they typically produce engineers. And again, it's based on your demographics, where you are. One last one. Harvard University. Let's take it out of the Mid-South demographics, okay? Let's see how we compare. Now, mind you, this is from the Department of Education, and once you type in that school, this is the information that pulls up from 2017. Class size, I didn't realize it was that would be more. I just thought.
17,000 a year? What's that?
Well, that's the average
All
cost.
of these are just for the classes, because it is
Yeah.
not room and board.
I know.
I can tell you that from CBU.
Only tuition.
Only tuition.
Only tuition.
And in the class, no book. Just in the
I
class.
can guarantee you Harvard is about 60,000.
At least,
I'm sure.
yes.
I'm sure.
So they must put in, they have their own districts.
Yeah, I don't know, but like I said, when you have small children who are about to graduate high school, and you're really looking and you want that information, if you go to your Harvard's website, they're going to give you just whole bells and whistles and lay out the red carpet. Same thing with any other university, but this is just the information that the Department of Education has on their website. Again, once you look up a school, you type in that school name, this is the data that they produce. And some of the data that they actually showed, some of it was a little bit disturbing. When you talk about graduation rate, like Southwest, Tennessee Community College, that graduation rate was around 20%. I think it was like 23%. And when you think about it, you think, oh, that's really low. I mean, why would I want to send my child to a college that has such a low graduation rate? Well, when you think about it, maybe some of you have, I know I have. There were some courses that I went to Southwest because it was cheaper at the time. They had a schedule that could better fit my schedule. I had no intention of staying there to finish out the degree, but I just went there just for that course. Well, that lowers their graduation rate because I did not graduate. I enrolled, took the class, but I had no intention of graduating. You go to Harvard, you anticipate on graduating. You go to CBU, you're not there for those expensive courses. You're there to graduate. You go to University of Memphis, the same thing. So it could fluctuate. I'm pretty sure it does.
Well, I also think graduation rate is telling you 4 year. So if you're
Yes.
looking at, people on the 6-year plan,
Mhm.
they're gonna be-
Yeah, and of course Southwest is on a 2-year college, so naturally the graduation rate would, you would think, be lower because it's only a 2-year college. And back to Harvard, if you look at that salary, that's based on the Boston, Mass demographics. So that in Boston, Mass, I'm sure is not much.
You started it out in Boston on that.
Well, and from my experience, they do everything they can to downgrade that number.
Yeah, so it's really
So they are
conservative.
trying to bury it because they don't want the employers to scare them.
Yeah. But again, if you look at the number of average attendees, 7,300, compared to the U of M, compared to CBU, I mean, it's pretty moderate, but I mean, we know that Harvard is only going to get the cream of the crop. They're not doing anybody any favors. You can be one of the best in your schools, but if you don't hit all the marks that they anticipate a student should be, you will not be going to Harvard, period. Okay? Christian brothers, not as difficult to get in, but it's not an easy college to go to either. U of M, well,
Another big consideration is just graduate schools, medical schools, business schools, graduate, the size of the class, potential there. And I'm not sure, like Christian Brothers does have university have to say masters or PhD programs.
yeah, I think so. Yeah, they have a doctor's program as well. So I mean, all of these do, but you go to some colleges and universities. I was Dr. Fisher and again we're talking. Like Lemoyne dropped their doctorate program back in the 90s, just trying to sustain themselves. So I know. I don't know how far you can get in Rhodes College. Are any Rhodes graduates in here?
There's no advanced degree.
Okay.
There's still colleges.
Okay. So that was just some interesting points that I found by creating this. And accreditation, very important. You talk about picking a college or university or any other institution you anticipate going to learn more from. Accreditation is the recognition that an institution maintains its standards, whatever that is, for its graduates to gain admission to other reputable institutions of higher learning or to achieve credentials for professional practice. So that's accreditation. And even all the for-profit colleges I went to on their website, you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you see a whole list of accreditations. But in my opinion, the most important accreditations are for ones that the government will be willing to help pay for your college. Many of those ones online, the government, FAFSA, will not pay a dime for that college because they don't recognize the accreditation. I've had family members who actually went to some of these for-profit colleges, go all the way up and get a master's degree. Okay, and certain employers would not accept those master's degrees based on the accreditation. It's not accredited. And they say, okay, well, I'll start over. You think you're going to take that for-profit master's degree and give it to any of those 3 colleges that I just pointed out? You are starting over. Literally starting over from the ground up. So that master's degree from a non-accredited college has no weight in an accredited college. I think it was a few years ago, correct me if I'm wrong, where the U of M and Southwest actually collaborated where they were going to start sharing more credits in terms of classes that were taken at the U of M and Southwest. So I think that's a good thing. I heard recently that U of M is going to straight tuition, whether you're in state or out of state. And that's a good thing. They're trying to attract more people to the university. So again, when you talk about accreditation, it's very important that you pay attention to that. Don't just go for it. If you think it's just a quick, degree, usually if it's that quick, it's not worth the paper it's written on. And like my family members, I hate to see people have to start over or they're just, dead in the water with a degree that some employers would not recognize. And then it's not even transferable. You're still on the hook for those loans.
In most companies, the HR department can also tell you, if they tell you a lot about the accreditation of different universities if you're researching the program.
Yeah, they talk about employers, and even if you talk about your employer paying for it, most employers will not even pay for a non-accredited degree. I used to work for Carrier Air Conditioning back in the 90s. Carrier was one of those companies I attributed to the union where they pay for people to go to cosmetology school. It's like, if you want to learn anything you want to do, it's all for the sake of learning, we'll pay for it. And they did. That's why one of the reasons why U of M has a campus out at their site in Collierville. Now that's a proactive company, but companies like that don't often exist anymore. So again, when you're looking for yourself, your children, or just as a referral, they have to keep all of that in mind. Certification programs. Certification, certified certificate program. Let me get it out. I'm going to say every word but that word. A certificate program is a set period of education that results in a certification or a certificate of completion rather than a degree. In general, these programs either prepare students to complete a specific task or educate them about one particular aspect of their field. So, researching this, I shared with someone that when I was going to Southwest, I considered a certification program. They had a quality assurance, and I think they still have a certification program. So, depending on the program, it's going to be either 4 college courses up to 6. And you're going to just basically go for the full duration. You know, however long you want to spread it out, 1 class per semester, or knock it all out in 1 semester if you possibly can. And at the end of those courses, you would get a certification, a particular certification, which kind of, in my opinion, makes you a subject matter expert.
Southwest would have certificates back when I was starting the transportation supply chain and quality program, and they used that program to test the waters to see how many students were interested in it. So now they still have the supply chain and the quality. It's under the business and commerce degree.
Okay.
It's more than one option, and I got lucky. I have all 4 options.
Okay.
So it's kind of hidden. Like I said, you have to look at business and commerce degree, and you'll see the option that says quality, and you'll see the option that says supply chain.
Go ahead, sir.
Just one comment on certificate and certification that I've experienced in companies that reimburse for continuing education. Sometimes it has to be a formal degree, like you're at a university or bachelor degree or master's or PhD. Certifications from different organizations would be recognized. Certificates were not recognized for reimbursement.
Yeah.
And
Tell us what a certificate is. I know what it
yeah,
is.
yeah, it's kind of funny. And tuition reimbursement from companies oftentimes is a cap. Well, there's a threshold about $3,500 before you have to claim it as income. So you'll find a lot of classes costing about $3,500 per year. There's ways that can be leveraged though. We have the certificate classes paid for. If you can convince your HR that this is training for your certification. So there's ways that we can kind of work that back.
Yeah.
And then certain institutions that have certification classes like they're way different. Like Stanford has a certification course in genetics. So 6 online classes that you want to face, and then you have to test with those. Now, because it's from Stanford, a lot of places will recognize that. If it's from the University of Alabama in Huntsville, they won't recognize that. So it's kind of Amherst, Huntsville, so it's no slant to Huntsville. So it's just a kind of weird gaming of the system back and forth for corporate reimbursement if they have that educational policy.
Yeah. And most schools, you know, well, most employers, including my own, they recognize certain institutions, but they will almost always recognize an accredited college or university, whether it be online or in the class itself. Anything that comes from them, because they are accredited, they recognize it. They don't offer too much scrutiny. As long as it's not cosmetology, you know, they'll almost always reimburse you for it. So, again, when you talk about certification and a certificate, you know, a certificate of completion, you sat in that course and you heard a lecture, yada, yada, yada. They got a 10-page, 10-question test at the end that they almost ensured that you would pass it to ensure the success of that certificate program. But, you know, is it marketable? Yeah. But to who? Like I'm certified certified to ship a dangerous good. I sit through that 3-day course with FedEx. I have to be. That's marketable. That is a marketable course. Before you give any package to any carrier, known carrier, you have to be certified in shipping a dangerous good. So that certificate of completion, yeah, that holds value. Because everybody cannot tender a dangerous good to any carrier. That's law. So again, it depends on what it is and who it's actually for. But again, talk about Southwest community, and thank you for sharing. Like I said, I had explored it well over 10, I know maybe 15 years ago, and I never did go for the certification program, but I found it to be very interesting. It's a lot quicker, and again, it's a concentration certification. So they have them in accounting, and they didn't have all of these when I looked, like I said, 10, 15 years ago. Advanced machining, architectural, construction, basically electronic computer software specialist, customs brokerage, which could be pretty significant in this town. Early childhood education, electrical, electronic fundamentals, emergency medical technician, emergency medical technician basic, food preparation, industrial computer fundamentals, industrial motion controls, robotics, laboratory phlebotomy, logistics, transportation, pretty significant in this town, machine fundamentals, mechanical manufacturing CAD, and paramedic. So today they have a lot more, and if you have someone who's looking, they don't want to, let's say, sit for an exam, if they're not prepared to sit for an exam, whatever that exam may be, they can possibly go to Southwest and take some of these certification programs and to get them familiar with what it is, whatever it is they want to concentrate on. So it's a good starting point for people who don't want to just jump right into college. But also good as far as continuing education for professionals who are out here. If you want to get more of a concentration on, not paramedic, but maybe machining fundamentals or industrial motion control or whatever the case may be, you can actually get that certification. And like I said, it doesn't cost much. I think it's still around $300 to $400 a course, and you can take it in one semester and knock it out and get the tests and get that certification, or you can just spread it out. But probably in the PC network, there's more. Quality insurance supervision. So it's quite a bit out there. Quality assurance, and the last one is substance abuse counseling. Okay, and a tax preparer. So you can go there and be a tax preparer. ASQ certifications. One that is near and dear to my heart. Okay. Well, we all obviously, as most of you know, as being ASQ members or friends of the section, we offer certification in concentrated areas as well. ASQ first examination was held back in 1968, and now, 50 years later, we have granted over 500,000 certifications. Okay? What's new to the section benefits? Number of annual exam administrations per year. Now we've gone up to 6. I think used to be, what was the Jeremy, about 4?